Moon Capricorn Tarot and Astrology reading for the upcoming new moon, December 30th, 2024. My name is Kelley Mountain. I'm with Goddess Modern. I work with women and couples for transformational work and intimacy. I'm also an event producer, a dance artist, a writer, a collage artist. I do many things. You can learn more about me and my work at my website, goddessmodern.com, or follow me on Instagram at goddess.modern. So I'm gonna get into this tarot reading. I want to say before getting into it, the way this stuff works, it's more archetypally predictive than it is concretely predictive, and it's more about noticing patterns of energy and experience rather than focusing on the exact details. Because I'm doing a collective reading here, you know, it's not everything I'm gonna say is gonna fit for every single person out there, but something might resonate if it's in the you know, if it's more about like recognizing patterns of experience, and you will know if it resonates because you'll feel it. And if it doesn't resonate, just, you know, don't attach to it and just let it go. So if it does resonate and if you do feel that, then my suggestion is just simply to open to it and use it as a seed of reflection that you can tend to through giving it your attention and some reflective activities to allow it to unfold and further reveal what it has for you. So I already cleansed the decks, and I cleansed myself, cleansed the space, said a prayer of intention, and shuffled and pulled the cards so I can get right into it with you now. Okay, so there's 4 decks that I'm pulling from, and I'm going to start with the Spirit Cats deck by Nicole PR. This is an oracle deck that she created with these beautiful watercolors and the messages on the back. So this message, the word for this message is mystery. Meet Esmeralda. She is the sweet unknown and allure of endless mystery. There are things that are impossible for our human minds to fully comprehend. The future is often obscured from our view, yet we still must make decisions without knowing the ultimate outcome. The mystery can feel dazzling and full of possibilities, or it can feel ominous and freeze us in our tracks. Esmeralda beckons us to make peace with the mystery. Let the great unknown sit beside you as you wash the dishes and fall in love and write your story and live your strange and winding life. So, I think the mystery is a great card for any new moon energy, because when we're tapping into the new moon, it's the dark moon. It's the moon in its phase of, you know, it's not illuminated by the light of the sun, so it's dark, it's mysterious, it's unseen, but it's still there, and we're still feeling it. You know, it's like the ultimate, the void, like the feminine, the darkness, the stillness, the unknown, the mystery. And it's ideal to plan that on the new moon each month. It's a very quiet, still, inward day as best we can, right? You know, but if you can, if you have control over that, then, you know, at least spending some kind of like quiet, still, reflective, inward time on the new moon is really great for tapping into your own mystery and just being with it and being nourished by it, even if you don't fully understand it. It's a time when we can really go into the feeling space and allow ourselves to bypass, you know, the parts of us that want to logically understand everything. Those are important parts too, but there's other important parts that are, it's like layers of ourselves that are, you know, deeper than logic, deeper than words even, where it's just like a felt sense, a felt intuitive sense. So another deck that I love to use for my readings is the antique anatomy tarot. And so in this anatomy tarot deck, I pulled to get messages from the ancestors. And so for the collective reading, I pulled to get messages from the ancestors of the collective humanity. And the card I drew is the Emperor in reverse. And the Emperor in reverse, it's an interesting card to pull for a couple of reasons. So one thing that stands out to me is how, so this new moon in Capricorn that we're going to be having on December 30th, 2024, it's going to be the first new moon in Capricorn without Pluto being in the sign of Capricorn and for the last, where it was for the last 16 years. So it really is a new moon, a new beginning, the start of a new cycle in the Capricornian areas of our lives. So if you know what your rising sign is and you can locate where in your chart Capricorn resides, and if you know what the symbolic representations of that house are, then you can kind of get an idea of where the new moon, where the new cycle, the new beginning is taking place in your life. So part of what I'm reflecting on with this new moon coming up is how the ruler of this new moon, because a new moon is in Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is over in Pisces, where it's been since 2023, and it'll be there for, I think it exits fully. I think it goes into Aries for a little bit in 2025, backs up back into Pisces, and then moves into Aries full time, I think in 2026, and it'll be there for another few years. So we have some more time while the ruler of this upcoming new moon is in the sign of Pisces. So it's almost like the ruler of this new moon is a guest, it's a visitor in Pisces, in the Pisces house. So in a sense, it has to play by the rules of Pisces. So the way that you can take this in and kind of apply it and consciously work with the energy to create the best outcomes, the best desired outcomes for you. It's like, think about if you understand the kind of like the high side qualities of the energies of Saturn and Capricorn, which are like discipline, responsibility, maturity, mastery, accountability, integrity, follow through, you know, like creating the plan and then working the plan. It's like, you know, these are all Saturnian, Capricornian, you know, traits of like, you know, to create mastery and wisdom and really cultivate and embody and claim one's authority in a certain realm of life. So putting those kind of energies, those kind of qualities into the Piscean area of your life. So Pisces is going to be all about like healing and creativity, feminine energy, intuition, oneness, unity, consciousness. And so, you know, kind of looking at how you can bring your sense of like maturity and responsibility and integrity into the areas of life that are ruled by Pisces, which is like around cultivating feminine energy and intuition, healing, developing spirituality, creative expression, and cultivating, you know, and embodying the qualities of like unity, consciousness, and oneness. And so coming back to this tarot card of the Emperor in reverse as a message from the ancestors, part of what this is speaking to me in terms of what I'm sharing with the astrology is how, well, the Emperor in reverse is a masculine energy that is not in alignment in some way. So, and then thinking of masculine energy, we currently have Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo. And so Mars in tarot is what rules the Emperor. And so part of what this is speaking to me about is how with Mars in retrograde and this Emperor reverse coming up, regarding this new moon in Capricorn, part of what this is speaking to me is how one of the best ways to utilize the energy right now is to go more inward and be more productive, either on internal processes of growth and development, or a way to use a Mars retrograde energy would be to take action on things that you're passionate about and that feel purposeful. But because Mars is in retrograde, you're going to get a better result if you're applying it towards things that you've already started in the past. You know, projects, ideas, you know, things that you've already, that are like kind of like, you know, just a progression of what you've already done. Those are going to be really great kinds of projects to work on. Starting new activities under a Mars retrograde is not ideal unless it's just a very low risk kind of a thing. And if it's like, if it can be low risk, or if it's something that you are okay with being temporary, then, you know, that would be a safe bet. But if it's anything that you want to have like a foundation that lasts over time, and, you know, if you, you know, or if it's like a high investment project of some kind, it's really best to wait until Mars goes direct, which is February 23rd, 2025. Emperor in reverse is another message coming through is don't force the flow. You won't be able to use your powers of choice and action to force things to get your way. So another message that's coming to mind for me is, if this is not necessarily an energy within you, but it's actually the energy of a person that you're interacting with, the Emperor in reverse can be somebody who's out of alignment with their masculine energy and their sense of authority and position of leadership. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. I'm going to just move on. Underneath the deck, there is a Three of Wands. And so this is saying to me that this is kind of a card to me of keep the faith. You're on the right track. What you want is waiting for you and it's up ahead. But there's just simply more of a path to travel. But just to know that this is like a confirmation, like it's coming, you're on the way, have patience. One of the virtues of the Capricornian new moon energy is definitely patience. So this is a really nice card to get. Moving on to the Tarot of Transcendence, made by my cousin Jennifer Fippen. I pulled, and this is a deck that I use to pull messages for the spirit guides and angels and allies. And so I pulled the Hermit. And the Hermit is ruled by the sign of Virgo in astrology. And the Hermit is all about getting still, becoming quiet, lots of alone time to go within and silently seek the light of truth within you. Where's that guiding light within you? What is it saying? What is it pointing to? What is it illuminating inside of you? And specifically in ways that can help guide you forward. So the energy of Virgo in astrology also rules the 6th house. So the 6th house is going to include things like your daily habits and routines. And the qualities of Virgo. It's very grounded and practical, very logical, step by step. You know, it's a good energy for building and conserving and maintaining, and it's a great complement to this Capricorn new moon because Capricorn and Virgo are both earth signs, and they both tend to lead towards being more conservative and simple. And it's like how to find the enjoyment within the simplicity, the beauty within the simplicity. The energies of both Capricorn and Virgo are, I think, said well by the phrase "less is more." How can we live by less is more while still enjoying and receiving the beauty of it, and how can we use less and more to empower the Three of Wands kind of future energy of, you know, the guarantee of what's up ahead. And what's interesting to me is that at the bottom of this deck for the Hermit, messages for the spirit guides for humanity, I got another Three of Wands. So I've got two Three of Wands cards here, that a double confirmation that you're on the right track. What you want is up ahead. Keep aware of the way that you are using your power of choice and creative energy. Notice where you can, in a sense, be more like water and just move with the flow, go with the flow. Just like simplify life by just noticing like where are the open doors that I can channel my energy into, and anything that's not an open door, do yourself a favor and like utilize like the brilliance of like mastery within simplicity that the Capricorn new moon has to offer, and don't like anything that feels like a closed door. My suggestion, do what you can to try not to even take things personal, you know, whether it's like, oh, you didn't get the job you wanted, or that relationship didn't work out, or whatever it is, you know, it's like conserve your vitality, your life force by just simply observing where it flows and where it doesn't flow. And just know that you're on the right track to creating what you want. So moving on to the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck that I use for calling in messages for the soul path of humanity. For this Capricorn new moon coming up, I got the Two of Cups in reverse. And so this typically is talking about, the Two of Cups is typically a relationship card, and it typically is like a soulmate card, like a kind of like a, yeah, like a blessed kind of soulmate connection. And soulmates come in the form of romantic partnerships and friends, pets, you know, neighbors. I mean, we can have soulmate connections with any relationship. So it's not always romantic partnership, but it certainly is one of the romantic partnership cards of the tarot deck. And so this came out in the reverse position, and so it's just asking the question, to me it asks the question of is there some kind of blockage in a soulmate connection that you're experiencing at this time, and if there is, then you know, is it, you know, worth taking a good look at, you know, what could possibly be creating the blockage to the soulmate energy being, like, in a sense, upright and flowing and reciprocal, balanced, harmonious. So underneath the deck, I got the Chariot in reverse. And so the Chariot in tarot is ruled by the sign of Cancer. And when it's upright, it typically is a message to move forward. And yet in the reverse position, to me, this is a message to just simply pause and reflect. And because it came out with the Two of Cups in reverse, I would just say, when it comes to a significant relationship in your life and that you feel like is blocked in some way, this would be a good time to simply take a pause, reflect, go inward. You know, if there's any kind of a feeling like this isn't really, to me, this is not a message of taking action. And what's coming up for me right now is circling back to this Hermit card, to go within and be still, and also this reverse Emperor card, which to me would be a message. This would kind of like, basically these three cards here, the Chariot reverse, the Emperor reverse, and the Hermit, to me are all messages that are saying pause, slow down. This is not a time of action. Go within and get curious as to just what's going on with your own energy. Maybe what this is gearing up for is some kind of communication about, to address what may be disrupting the soulmate connection. Sometimes it's better to slow down and maybe kind of like get our thoughts out by doing some free writing or talking with a trusted friend, or you know, there's practices like writing someone a letter of like how you really feel, like all the raw material that's on your heart, and then you know, and then not giving them the letter or burning the letter or throwing it away, but just as a way to ultimately move the energy out so that it can, through doing so, it will go through a process of refinement. And then in the future, should there be an opportunity to discuss the energy that's happening within the soulmate partnership, you're gonna be so much more productive and grounded and cooperative if you do that, because the chances are, if you just go straight for communicating the raw material on your heart, well, you know, we've all been there, done that, and typically it opens the door for things to get a little messy. And sometimes in these kinds of experiences with the Two of Cups reversed, Two of Cups reverse is indicating there's already a bit of a mess, already a bit of a compromise to the foundation of harmony and the connection. So you just want to be careful of how you approach and proceed to address that energy, right? And you want to, it's like, how do you take care of yourself while, you know, and manage your own energy? And, you know, the Emperor reverse, I mean, that can definitely be an energy of anger and frustration and even rage and injustice and, you know, wanting to get revenge. And these are all very natural human responses to feeling wronged in some way. But on the path of growth and development, we learn, you know, there's healthy ways to channel these energies that allow us to discharge it from our bodies and our minds, and allow us to also, you know, stay connected to the values of kindness and maturity and respect, even amongst differences and opposition, and that those virtues will get us farther in life and grow us into being better versions of ourselves than acting on raw material, especially if it's anger and rage and revenge. And at the same time, I would say part of how to work with the Emperor in reverse energy, if it is like anger, resentment, frustration, rage, it's coming up in you or somebody, this would indicate to me that one of the best ways to discharge this energy from your body is intense physical activity. So intense cardio exercise or weight training, movements that are gonna build fire in your muscles, and make you, you know, break a sweat and you know, be safe, be safe and take care of yourself. But that's gonna be one of the best ways to utilize this energy, or movements that allow you to tap into a passionate part of your energy and express it creatively, like dance or athletics or like a martial arts or something. So yeah, that's what I am getting for this Capricorn in new moon reading. I want to come back to these 2 Three of Wands cards that came out in the deck. So this is again just really emphasizing you're on the right track. What you want is waiting for you. And you know, it's also coming back to this card, the mystery, that I started at the beginning. Sometimes, you know, part of being the hermit and going within and finding the light of our own truth within us is what helps us get through the mystery, the dark, the unknown. So what I want to end with is the last line of this card, because I think this is really, in so many ways, I think it just comes down to this simple message here as far as just how we can enjoy our life even within the complexity of a human experience, which is so complex and so nuanced. And but sometimes simplicity is where there's just so much beauty to be received, and beauty is a form of medicine. It's a medicine gift that we are being offered from life when we can just simplify and enjoy the beauty within it. So the last line is, let the great unknown sit beside you as you wash the dishes and fall in love and write your story and live your strange and winding life. So I hope that something in here was helpful for you. Maybe it's helpful for someone you know, if you want to share this video with them. If this resonated for you at all, and if you want to support my work, I'd really appreciate it if you could please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have other content on my channel as well around relationships and intimacy and sex and wellness, spirituality, creativity. So there's lots to look into in my channel if you resonate with me and my work. And I hope it is helpful in some way to how you navigate this upcoming Capricorn new moon energy. Thank you so much and take care.